Hello everybody, this place is awesome. Get your creep on if you'd like. I can't believe she left me back here by myself. That steak dinner was delicious. My little electric heater decided to go blah. Would I do it again? Well, hello there. I had so much fun camping last weekend, I decided to do it again this weekend, but with a twist. You see, this is no ordinary campground, and this is no ordinary camping trip. This is a haunted campground, and tonight, this van will be my accommodations. I'll show you my setup later on. Tonight, I'll be staying at the haunted Beaver Creek State Park, which is south of Youngstown, Ohio, and east of Lisbon, Ohio, in the eastern part of the state. And that's where I'm at right now. This is the site I rented out for the night. It is electric, has a fire pit, picnic table. Not bad. Looks like I'm the only one here tonight. Well, I shouldn't say that because my wife did come with me. She's here to keep me company and from getting scared. They also have a couple of cabins here that you can rent, and they are $50 a night plus tax. There is a 2-night minimum, so those look pretty cool. The campground itself has 6 electric sites and like 39 non-electric sites. No showers, and they have a couple restroom facilities which are just kind of like an outhouse. So if you do come here, make sure you read up on it and find out what facilities they do have available. Like this weekend now, which is January 14th, 2023, they have no running water here, so you have to bring your own water. So if you're going to come, just make sure you check out the facilities before you do. The park itself is roughly 2,700 acres, a little over that. And it follows the section of the Little Beaver Creek. And according to legend and lore, it's haunted. There are several old structures and remnants of old structures throughout the park. I brought some maps with me. I want to show you, kind of give you an idea exactly where we are and the layout of the area. So this is a map that I printed offline, and the park itself is situated in what was the Sandy and Beaver Canal area. And that was a feeder canal, and that's right here. So I'm in a section of this part of the state along this Sandy and Beaver Canal, and it's in Columbiana County, eastern part of the state. Now, this canal was a feeder canal for the Ohio Erie Canal that ran north-south. The canal itself was started around 1828, I believe, and then it lasted until around 1854. Now, I have another map I want to show you of the general campground area and of the park itself, and it's a larger map. And again, I got this off of the internet, and you can find this on the ODNR website. You can download it. But basically, I'm up in here. This is the campground, and as you would make your way down river or down the creek here, you'd run into what they call Pioneer Village, which is where I'm going to go next. And then if you keep on going, you'll end up at the southern part of the campground here. And this is where a lot of the hauntings occur. There's a lot of locks down here that are said to be haunted, plus an old mill, and also is the death place of Pretty Boy Floyd. It's getting cold and we're burning daylight. So the plan is I'm going to get in the car and I want to go down to an area called Pioneer Village. And there I want to show you a lock that's been restored, plus an old mill. And that's where we're going to start our tour. Now I guess I could hike there from the campground, but it's like 3.5 miles to get to where I actually want to be when I'm done here. And then another 3.5 miles back. So it'd be like 7-mile hike round trip. And it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now. Daylight is burning, and I think I'm just going to get in the car to drive down there to show you these places while it's still light out. And then tonight, I'm going to try to do some nighttime walks. I'm standing on the 1-lane bridge that we just crossed over in the van, and straight ahead is Pioneer Village. Now what I want to show you over there is a reconstructed lock. It's original, but it's been reconstructed to show you what it actually looked like back when it was operating. Plus there's an old mill over here, and there's several other buildings that they brought in from the area that are old, but the two pieces, or the two structures that I want to show you, are the lock that's over here and the old mill. This is lock 36, Gaston's lock, and it is original to the park. However, it has been restored. It's pretty impressive. Let's go take a closer look. The wooden gates are impressive. Not very wide either. Icy. And again, this is part of the Sandy Beaver Canal, which was a feeder canal to the Ohio Erie Canal. My hands are froze. I think I'm going to head over to the mill now and show you that. This is the Gaston's Mill, and it is original to the park. I did find some information where people have caught EVPs here inside the building and the surrounding area. So we might come back here tonight and try that out. I have my little recorder that I brought with me that I took to the Lafayette Hotel that I never got to use. So I may come back here tonight and try it out. And there's lots of other structures here in this Pioneer Village that aren't necessarily original to the area, to this particular area, but they're old, that they were brought in, like the covered bridge here. So there's a lot of cool stuff here, and during the summer months, fall, spring, they actually open up these areas that you can take tours in them and go inside. All right, we're off to the death site of Pretty Boy Floyd, the notorious gangsta. We're going to make a quick stop here at the scenic overlook. I feel like I'm fighting daylight here. It's about 4:30, and I think it's going to be dark when I hit Gretchen's Lock, which should be kind of creepy. it was worth the hike up here. And it's kind of nice coming here in the wintertime. There's no leaves on the trees, so you can really see down into the valley. And that down there is Pioneer Village, where we just came from. So what we're doing is we're working our way down this ridge that-a-way, and then that's where we'll find Pretty Boy Floyd marker, Spruce Val, the old ghost town, Gretchen's Lock, Jake's Lock. Time to warm up. It's 29 degrees out. Feels a lot colder. Well, we finally made it to the test site of Public Enemy number 1, Charles Arthur Pretty Boy Floyd. So apparently somewhere in this general area here, he was gunned down by the FBI on October 22nd, 1934. And again, if you were to do some research on the area, you would find that people hear things and see things in this area. So this is the Hambleton's Brothers Grist Mill, built around 1835 in the town of Spruceville, which is now a ghost town. So the Sandy and Beaver Canal went through this area, and the town was active, had families living here, and of course they had the locks in the canal. Now, there was a flood here around 1854 from one of the reservoirs that fed the canal, and it destroyed a lot of the locks in the area. And with the coming of the railroads, the locks lost their funding and they fell into disrepair, and with the flood it just kind of slowly ceased to exist. And by around 1870 there were only a few families left living here. But at one time, according to the history books, there was around 20 families living here. And of course, this place is haunted too. If you do some research on it, you'll find that people have heard voices on EVP and seen things. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. It's a neat old structure. This is underneath the structure here, and as you can see, it's all full of water. And I think that's the way it was designed. When they had the grist mill, the water went under the structure here. Probably be a good place to do some EVP sessions at night. Really cool. Now, just down the way from the grist mill, on the bridge here, which this isn't the original bridge, but as the story goes, is haunted by Esther Hell, who was left at the altar on the day she was supposed to be married. And so the story goes that you can see her in her bridal gown. So that could be another area that would be kind of neat to maybe do some EVP sessions at, or check out at night. Now I'm standing on the corner of the old grist mill. you look straight ahead, you see some blocks there, and that's a lock, and that's Jake's lock. Now, I'm going to park back in that area there. There's a parking area that will lead you back to Gretchen's lock. Both of these locks are said to be haunted. And if I were to keep walking towards Gretchen's lock, I'd end up at Pioneer Village. It follows the river. In total, the park itself here has, I believe, 7 locks. So I'm going to head down this trail here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's some rubble down there. And that's Jake's lock. And that's said to be haunted too by a worker named Jake who was working on the lock and who was struck by lightning. Well, there's definitely a difference between a lock that's been restored and one that hasn't been. This one's crumbling and falling apart, but still cool. And this is all part of the park, so you could come down here and do some EVP or just come out here and hang out and get your creep on if you'd like. Technically the park is open from like 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. but I'm sure they get people down here all the time in the late evening, early morning hours, since it is known for ghost hunting. Now, looking back from where I just came from, you can see the old grist mill, and that's not too far away. And back over here on this side is the Sandy Creek, the river. Right behind this lock is a group camping area. So you could reserve that, get a group of people and spend the night there and do some ghost hunting at Gretchen's lock, Jake's lock, and the mill across the street. I'm going to go ahead and head back to the car now, and I'm going to drive around the corner here. There's a parking area near the group camp area where I can park and walk down to Gretchen's lock. Alright, getting dark, it's about 5:30 p.m. We're going to walk down this path here to Gretchen's lock, haunted Gretchen's lock. I don't think it's very far, but it's probably going to be dark by the time we get there, and definitely when we walk back. I'll probably have some really shaky footage because I just have my camera in the tripod and I don't do anything fancy. It's just my phone. Very peaceful back here. I'm not sure if the audio can pick up the river there. It's really nice. My wife is way ahead of me, left me in the dust. I just happened to look up from the trail. That's awesome. I lost a glove on the trail. I'm going to have one cold hand. I'll have to look for the glove on the way back. I know you can't see that because it's dark, but roughly 100 feet in front of me is Gretchen's lock. Now I'm guessing it took I don't know, 15-20 minute walk from the parking lot. Not bad, all flat. Could be muddy though in the spring or if it rained. Let's go check it out. That was cool. Well, it's now after 6 o'clock. It's dark. I was hoping to get here a little bit earlier while it was still daylight so I could show you what the lock looked like. But it's in really good shape. And of course, this is Gretchen's lock. And if you can visualize what that first lock looked like that I showed you, the one that was restored, it's the same type of lock. And it is awful creepy back here and spooky. It's actually kind of nice. Very peaceful. I had a brighter light, but I forgot to bring it with me. It's in the car. But for as old as this lock is back here, it's really in really good shape. So the story of Gretchen's lock, and hopefully I get this right, but there was a fella from Ireland, and I believe his name was Hale. So it was a Mr. Hale. And he came to Ireland with his wife and his daughter, and he was going to be an engineer in charge of building these locks. On the way over here, his wife became ill and died, and they buried her at sea. Once he got over here, started building the locks, overseeing the construction of the locks, his daughter Gretchen took ill and died. And the rumor is, so they say, that he entombed her body in the lock here, this lock, Gretchen's lock, with the intent of getting her body back out again when he left to go back to Ireland. So that's the story. Well, I did bring, not sure if you can see that or not, my trusty little EVP recording device. I'm going to give it a try. We'll see what happens. If I can figure out how to make it work. January 14th, 2023. It's approximately 6:15, 6:20 at Gretchen's Lock. I'm going to ask a few questions, and I'll let this run, and we'll see what we get. Gretchen, are you here? If you are, feel free to talk. I think I'm going to walk around the lock here with the recorder on, and we'll see what we get. Of course, I won't know tonight. I'll have to listen to this when I get home. But you never know. Maybe we'll hear something on here. And if we do, either way, I'll let you know. I need to go find my wife. I hope she didn't leave me down here. All right, I think I'm going to head back to the van now. Hopefully my wife is up the trail there. She may have said something to me that she was walking back, but I didn't hear her because I was busy in the lock. I see a light up there. Hopefully that's my wife. Maybe she found my glove. I can't believe she left me back here by myself. It's kind of scary. I guess she's not afraid. Thank you. I can now keep my other hand warm. Well, made it back to the campground. I'm going to go ahead and start a fire here. Get the fire going, and then again, I've got some steaks tonight for supper. So I'm going to use one of these fire starts again. Feels good. Look what I brought back with me. Still good. Frozen, but still good. Tonight's meal, steaks again. This time I'm going to grill them. I'm going to set this on the fire and lay the steaks right on this cast iron grill. I've got ribeyes again. I enjoyed them so much last weekend, decided to get them again. Of course, these are bone in, and I actually got these ones a little bit cheaper because they needed to be sold, but they're still good. So I'll just use some salt and pepper. And then tonight, I do have bread, butter again, and Caesar salad. So that's the meal tonight. Although, I'm highly disappointed because I forgot my steak sauce. But, we'll make do without it. So, as soon as the fire burns down a little bit more and we get some cools, I'll put the steaks on. How do you like all the snow on the table? Last time I checked, the temperature was about 25 degrees. I'll go ahead and get the Caesar salad ready. It's one of those salad kits that come with the dressing, the cheese, everything you need. So I'll just kind of mix it all up in a bag and it'll be ready to go. I've said this before, but at least I think I have. I think I can make a meal out of bread and butter. Once again, the butter's a little hard. Maybe if I put it on the steak, it'll melt. I know a lot of people say you don't need steak sauce on a good steak, but I really enjoy steak sauce. And I'm missing it right now because I forgot it. That steak dinner was delicious. Well, this is the setup. Nothing fancy. I've got this mat here that I stole from my daughter, exercise mat. And basically I'm going to sleep right here. My wife, she's going to sleep in a chair there. It kind of reclines back, and she said that's fine for her. So that'll work. What's cool about the minivan here, the Dodge minivan, is the seats fold down into the base here, the bottom. So that's kind of cool. So if you need room in here, you just kind of fold the seats down. They're called stow and go. But yeah, this is it. Now I do have a little heater up front there, a little electric heater. This is an electric campsite that has electric available, so I knew that coming in here when I made the arrangements for the campsite. And that was my plan, to use the little electric heater. So it should stay warm in here tonight. And then I've got this sleeping bag. And I actually bought this sleeping bag about 3 weeks ago. Bought it after Christmas, actually. And I took it with me camping last weekend. It was nice. It's a Coleman Northern Rim sleeping bag. 0-degree sleeping bag. And it was nice. I really liked it. And I bought it off Amazon. And I bought it from, it was open package. New, but open, or like new. And so basically it was a package that might have been damaged, so they couldn't sell it as new. But it was brand new when I got it. And I only paid like $59 for it, where the regular price was like $79. So I saved $20. But it kept me warm. I'm thoroughly impressed with it. So I think it's a keeper. And I've never really had a nice warm sleeping bag. In fact, I remember when I was a kid, when I used to go camping, I just had a sleeping bag. And I have no idea what that was rated for. Probably like 65 degrees, but like a dummy, I went out camping with it and I usually froze. But, you know, it was fun. But this one here, this is probably the nicest sleeping bag I've ever had. The warmest anyways. So it's a keeper. Now, don't go anywhere. I'm not ready to go to bed yet. In fact, I brought the hat with me tonight. Guess who might be making an appearance tonight? I also have this nice little camping pillow.
Later on in the evening, I was sitting around the campfire and I was just talking about the day's activities and what the place was like and some of my experiences. But the audio was terrible. The wind had picked up and there was a lot of wind noise. So I decided to cut a lot of it out, but I did want to share a few things with you. And here are the things I wanted to share.
Well, hello there. Before I get rambling on here, I have to tell you the story. Earlier in the video, when I was down there at Hamilton's mill, the grist mill there in Spruceville, the ghost town, I was over there across the street looking at the grist mill. My wife was in the van, parked across from the grist mill, just there across the street there, across the highway, county road. And I was over there doing my thing, and then I came back to the van and told her that I was going to walk down to Jake's lock. And then when I got back, we'd get in the car and drive down to the parking lot to go to Gretchen's lock. So I went down there, shot the video, talked on camera, this and that, came back. As soon as I opened the door, my wife goes, "I had to lock the door." I go, "Yeah?" And she said, "Someone said hello." And she looked around, didn't see anyone, got kind of scared, locked the door. Ghost? Spirit? I don't know, but she had an experience. Now, I haven't had anything since I've been here, but I've been so busy kind of filming and doing things, walking around, trying to figure out where I'm going, that I haven't really kind of sat back and just kind of let things happen and absorb the atmosphere.
Okay, this is definitely your final chance. I am at the campsite now, campsite number 5. I've got a nice glowing jack-o'-lantern and a nice warm fire. Feel free to speak. I just got scared out of my wits. I was standing here by the fire and something kind of moved rather fast at the corner of my eye, and it scared me. That's honestly the first thing I felt that was kind of freakish this whole weekend since I've been here.
Well, it's 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm getting ready to tuck myself in. My little electric heater decided to go blah. So I have no electric heat tonight. But it's fairly warm in the car tonight. I did start the car here a little while ago, so it's pretty warm in here. I may have to start it up again, maybe 5 a.m. We'll see. But good night. Well, good morning. Survived the night. It's cold. It's about 7:20. Temperature's around 22. I just turned the car on because it is frigid. I think I'm going to go back inside, warm up, make me some coffee, and I'll be back. With that brew, we'll be ready. Looking forward to this. These are pretty cool if you have an electric campsite, because not only can you make coffee, you can make hot water too for hot chocolate, or heat water up for dishes. Kind of nice. Picnic table still frozen, ice, but it's set on this cardboard here. Try to anyways. Now when I woke up this morning, I looked out the window at the pumpkin down by the fire and it still had a glow. Candle in it still burning. It was a big candle inside like a little glass container, so a lot of wax in it. But last night it was cold. Went to bed around 2 a.m. My heater, little electric heater that I had, did not work. It worked earlier in the night and I had it on, turned it on around midnight just to kind of heat the van up, but it conked out. So before I went to bed around 2 a.m., I went ahead and started the van up just to kind of heat it up, heat myself up a little bit, and then I went to bed. And then I got up about, I don't know, maybe 4:30, had to use the bathroom. It was cold, turned the car on again, heated it up, went back to bed, and then got up about 7. And now I'm here, and now I think it's about 8:15. Would I do it again? Yeah, I would. It was fun. This whole part, this whole quick, less than 24-hour adventure was fun. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down back to Gretchen's Lock to see it in the daylight. So if you want to stick around and see what that looks like in the daylight, please do so. If you gotta go, I understand. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. It was a lot of fun making. And if you ever get to this area of Ohio, or you're looking for something neat to do that's fun, that's kind of spooky, that can be spooky, give this place a try. It seems like a really neat place. It's called Beaver Creek State Park, or Beaver River State Park. Double check on that. Great time. Talk to you later. I think I'm going to say goodbye to this pumpkin. I'm going to leave it here. I think I'm going to put it on that rock back there. It served me well, and maybe it will provide some nourishment for some of the critters out here this winter. This is the overlook in the campground area. Beautiful view. We made it to Gretchen's Lock. It's about 75 feet up that way. I'll go give you a closer look. This is where I was last night. I could visually see last night when it was dark, but the camera couldn't pick anything up. Looking at the sides of the lock, how this is real nice and smooth, and the bottom's smooth, but the top is not. I think it was built that way. If you know, let me know. But this lock, Gretchen's Lock, is well preserved also. And I don't think they've done anything to it either. That's interesting. On the other side of the lock, there appears to be 3 pits. Maybe Gretchen was entombed there.
the cold air, the bearless trees, the nighttime skies, feeling on edge, an unknown place. Besides the stories that I shared around the campfire with you, my EVP sessions did not yield anything. However, it was fun, and I had a great time exploring these areas. I highly recommend it. So if you ever get out to this area, or if you have other areas where you live at, where you can be on edge and experience some nighttime fright, I highly recommend it. Talk to you later.